If somebody in your life right now saw you a year ago today, would they say that you've changed a lot, or are you still living those bad habits that you lived in a year ago? More than likely, you have not changed that much in a year, and it's not because it's so out of reach for you, but it's because you believe that it's out of reach. You can change your entire life in the snap of a finger. Overnight, you can literally choose to change whatever you want with your life. It's just a matter of believing that you can. It's all just a mindset shift that I feel like is very easy to obtain, but very difficult to get started with if you don't know how to do it. In order to believe in your ability to change, you need your behavior to be different. And first, I think it's really important to start with the behavior to cut out first. Little self-deprecation that you tell yourself that you probably have never noticed has got to stop. And I'm talking about little things like making a joke about yourself, or maybe saying that you're so stupid for a little mistake that you've made. Little things like that are so crucial and important to our confidence, and we just do it so casually and so subtly in conversation that we'll never notice how much of an impact it's actually making towards us. Every single time that you tell yourself that you're stupid, or every single time you walk in a room and you make a joke at your expense, you're subconsciously telling yourself that you're lesser. And it really doesn't seem like it's that serious. It doesn't seem like it's gonna make that much of an impact on your life. But the constant self-deprecation that you might be making towards yourself consistently adds up over time, and then you're going to consistently stop believing in your ability to change, or believe in your ability to become something better than what you were yesterday. If you want to change so much that the people around you stop recognizing who you are, you need to stop recognizing that version of yourself that constantly self-deprecates, that version of yourself that constantly believes that they are lesser than, or believes that they aren't capable of attaining the things that they want in their life. You need to stop recognizing that person, because that is not the person that you are trying to be. You should only recognize yourself as the person that you can imagine yourself being in 10 years down the line, or 30 years down the line. You need to imagine yourself and recognize yourself as the best version of yourself. And what I'm about to say is so simple, but I promise you it is a game changer. The same way that we casually self-deprecate ourselves without even really recognizing, you can choose to casually uplift yourself the same exact way. Every single time that you self-deprecate, just imagine flipping that with something positive about yourself. And I promise you, when you start to do that, you're going to start viewing yourself in a different light. You're going to start imagining yourself as the best version of you. I know that you've talked to somebody that if you try to uplift them or be positive in any manner, they're going to minimize their own success and probably say something like anybody could have done it, or it's really not that big of a deal, whatever it may be. And for some reason, we've connotated that behavior to being humble, when in reality, I don't think that's being humble at all. I think that's just deprecating yourself and thinking that you're not worthy of celebration. So now that person that just did something incredible doesn't even believe that what they've done is incredible. They believe that anybody could have done it, when in reality, that's just not the case at all. That voice that you have in the back of your head literally dictates how you view yourself and how you view the world in general, and you lose nothing by making that voice a little bit more positive. My next point is that if you want to become unrecognizable, you've got to stop focusing on the physical. We always try to focus on the cover of the book, when in reality, we've got to focus on the content within it. When somebody says that they want to change their life, the first thing that they do 9 times out of 10 is go to the gym. And truthfully, I do believe that that is a wonderful thing. You know, you want to change how people perceive you. Maybe you want to walk with more confidence. Maybe being more comfortable in your skin and your body makes you more confident. But I feel like if you're doing that without even thinking about how you can change your mentality, you're just going to be somebody that looks different but acts the exact same. And if that's the case, did you really change all that much? And to provide a metaphor for what I'm talking about, if my phone internally is cooked, if the motherboard is completely shattered, I don't know how that would happen, but just imagine it makes sense. If the motherboard is completely shattered and all I did was slap a new case on my phone, like, yeah, like the phone looks different, but you're still cooked. Like the phone internally is still shattered. I have seen really mean people go from skinny to buff, or go from fat to buff, and you look at them, you perceive them differently because they've made a change physically, and you're thinking maybe this person changed their life around, maybe they're acting in a different way. Then you talk to them and you realize you're the same exact loser that you were before, you just changed the way that you look. If you want to become unrecognizable, it's not entirely terrible to focus on the way that you look, but if you're attaching all of that value to the way that you look, you're focusing on the wrong things. Your mindset is going to elevate you far more than your physical attributes ever could. And my last point is that if you want to change so much that other people around you are like, dang, who is this person? You have got to change the way that you interact and behave towards other people. Because people in your life are looking at you from a lens based on your own behavior that they're going to continue to describe you with. If you're a person that was trying to be a class clown, people are going to view you as a class clown regardless of what you do until you start behaving differently. If you want people to view you differently, you have got to force them to view you differently. And this can come in various different ways, but I think the most important way is to just stop biting your tongue. If somebody makes a joke that you don't like, speak up, say something about it. And this is going to show people that this is not the same person that's going to be walked all over, or this is not the exact same person that's so unserious and is going to let us say whatever we really want to say. Force people to behave differently around you. If somebody makes a joke that you don't like, don't sit there and just let it slide just because you want to be a people pleaser. Speak up and actually say exactly what you're thinking. And it doesn't have to be this extravagant thing. It could be as simple as, oh, you thought that was funny, I didn't. And if they're constantly trying to avoid accountability when you start speaking up for yourself, don't stray away from that opinion that you have. You could simply say, okay, cool, it's still not funny though. When you start to change your behavior and start acting in accordance to that example that I just gave, people are going to be forced to treat you differently, and people are going to be forced to view you differently. But most importantly, it all really just comes down to belief. Do I believe that I can change? Do I believe that I can be that person that I want to be? You are the only person that can answer that question for yourself, and you are the only person that can allow this little voice up here to treat you differently. So hopefully that helps somebody. I appreciate you for watching this video. See you guys next time. Peace out.